All right, everyone, here we are again to entertain and amuse you and probably inform you as well. Welcome to Nothing But Worry with your host, Lance Ash, and sitting on the sofa beside me, as usual, is my wife and partner, Bonnie.
Hello.
Hello. All right, let's see here. I had, like I told everybody last week, I was on vacation 9 days, and so this whole week back at work, it took me until last night to get back into the groove. All week, my sleep was off every day. I kept thinking, okay, today's the day that I'm going to sleep properly. Today's the day. It wasn't until today that I slept properly. And I was thinking, well, it's taking me a long time to get back from get over being off work. And then I realized, it's a goddamn time change exacerbating my issues. Heard a story in NPR just a couple of days ago about how bad the time change is for your body. Because, like they said on the story, every single cell in your body operates on the circadian rhythm. And when it's off, you can get seriously thrown off. So I was off all fucking week. Bonnie says I've been off for about 40 years.
At least.
And let me think of any more preliminary remarks. I can't think of anything. What you got, Bonnie?
Not a damn thing. Wait. Who's that guy over there?
Oh, yeah. I shaved my beard off today. Got the cordless, wireless, whatever you want to call it, trimmer. Trimmed it off, and I'm going to shave it with a razor later. What brand is that, by the way?
Nicola.
Anyway, Bonnie bought when I first grew a beard. A year ago?
I don't know.
Bonnie bought me this trimmer, beard trimmer thing, and you charge it like you do a phone or something. It's got one of those type of hookups, and we've only charged it one time, and it's still going. And this thing is really, really good. It's got all these attachments, and goes right through the beard. I couldn't believe it.
You need a haircut, by the way.
I don't know. I'm reluctant to get a haircut because of my incipient baldness. But yeah, I guess so. I think given the beard being gone, I probably should get a haircut as well. You'll have to trim it tomorrow or whenever. So anyway, like I was gonna say, Bonnie and I got home from work this morning, slept a couple of hours, and then Bonnie and I went out to run some errands.
You slept a couple hours. I didn't sleep any. I got an email about the time that you went to fully asleep and went to get the groceries, and by the time I got back from the groceries and getting gas and another errand, you were up again.
We hate to praise large corporations, but we've been doing the grocery pickup at Walmart lately, where they bring the stuff out to your car. And I got to tell you, it's really convenient. I don't like not being able to pick out the cans and boxes and produce myself to make sure they're not dented. But for the ease of doing it and not having to go in there and look at all those disgusting, ugly people, it's really nice. So what do you think about that, Bonnie?
I think it's very convenient. I start a basket as soon as the other one gets picked up, and I add to it or even subtract from it based on a number of things. Like I thought I was going to get cabbage, and I found it for sale at Aldi, but then you and I went to Kroger today, and it was even cheaper. So I didn't go to Aldi at all, and didn't get the cabbage from Walmart. I mean, it's not like we're completely avoiding grocery stores. We're just not going into Walmart, thank God.
Walmart is just the clientele are just dressed so poorly, and they're so deformed looking, and it's just
depressing.
It really is, and tell you somewhere else we went today. There's an Oriental grocery store in Athens called Fuchs Foods. And when they first opened up over on Baxter Street, where Motherlode is now, it was okay, and I thought, this won't last. But they kept going, and now they've moved over onto South Millage, and I haven't been in there in years, and they're really thriving. I can't believe it. We went there specifically to get the best soy sauce in the world, Wajah Shan Premium Aged, but
they only had the age.
They didn't have the premium. This stuff, see, the thing is, if you're only used to Kikkoman's, you're missing out, because Kikkoman's is harsh and very, very salty, and it's coarse compared to this stuff. This stuff smells like wine. It's smooth and slightly sweet, and
saltiness is tempered. It's still there.
Yeah.
But it's very well done. It's a nicely balanced drink. Food stuff.
I think it's made in Taiwan.
I don't know.
I don't know how we discovered this several years ago.
I think we may have gone to the big grocery off Jimmy Carter.
The Hong Kong farmers market. I think that is where we got it, yeah.
And last time I bought 3 containers of it. Gave 1 to Reed, and I realized that the other day. So.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
That's also where you can get Pink Camay soap, which is just a wonderful smelling soap. Years and years ago, there used to be a store in Athens called Junkman's Daughter's Brother. They sold all these trinkets and doohickeys from around the world. And they had this $8 soap called Me So Pretty. And just for fun, I bought a bar of this soap. And our son is passing through the room.
Hello, son.
You want to say anything for the show?
Night, love you. Night, baby, we love you too.
Anyway, it had a wonderful smell. But it was so expensive, there's no way I could buy another bottle or a bar of this
How much
stuff.
was it, $8 a bar?
It was like $8 a bar, yeah.
Insane.
Like all that fancy soap they have up at Kudzu.
Oh, God.
Anyway, so
Yeah, well, that's handcrafted stuff. Like made from goats out in the backyard.
I think it's like, niche. Is it niche or niche? Niche soap for rich people. But anyway, we happened to be in the Hong Kong farmers market.
And just gave it a try.
And I was walking through, and I thought, Camay, I remember this when I was a kid, and I sniffed the pink one. This smells like that Me So Pretty soap. So anyway.
For those of you who don't remember Camay Pink, think about when you were young and your mother had a great aunt and she wore pearls and usually a sweater set and her hair had that sort of blue tint. She would use pink Camay. That is what my husband likes.
When
soap.
When I was a kid in the 70s, Camay had a line of TV commercials, and they were presented by this German woman, and I hated her when I was a kid because her accent just creeped me the fuck out. It was something about the way she talked. So, on our outing, we listened to Stone Temple Pilots' Greatest Hits album. We listened to...
That was awesome.
Yeah. And we listened to Pearl Jam's Lightning Bolt record, which has got a lot of really good songs on it.
Where'd you get that from?
My friend Steve gave that to me for my birthday years and years ago.
An awesome gift. Say thank you.
Thank you, Steve. I'm sure you're listening. And we listened to Opeth's Heritage album, which...
Say it correctly.
Opeth is how it's actually pronounced. And there's 10 tracks on the record, and the 9th one is sort of a 2-part song. And I thought this would be great to share with Bonnie, because the first part is sort of he sings clean on this record, and then the last half of the song is this driving, almost Iron Maiden like rhythm. Dun 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 dun. Anyway,
You
so
realize that Iron Maiden is the only metal band I've not been able to get into that you've shared with me.
I think you would probably like the song "Wasted Years." Oh, I think you'd like some of the stuff on Seventh Son,
Did I?
because that whole record.
That's the thing. I really can't say that I know their sound. You know, when you hear a Metallica sound, you always know that's Metallica, you know? Mm-hmm. There's certain groups that just, you know their fucking sound. I can't say that with, what's the band we're talking about?
Iron Maiden.
Uh-huh.
Well, I've played Alexander the Great for you a couple of times. Do you know that song?
No. No, I don't know why I block out. What's the band again? Iron Maiden.
The song,
Sexy Maiden.
what?
Iron what?
Maiden. Steel Virgin.
Oh, okay. Let's listen to that one.
Anyway, blah, 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 blah. The song Seventh Son of a Seventh Son on the album by the same name has this long, quiet passage in the middle. And it builds up and it builds up. And then this guitar solo comes in, as I once famously described it, like a phone off the hook. It's just,
Blaring.
well, it's just very... So let's see, what else is going on? I've talked too much. You say something.
Talked out, babe. We talked in the car today.
We should have recorded ourselves in the car.
Hey, that's on you.
Well, it's not the same.
No, it's not, because we don't have the long distances to go
Right.
anymore.
When we used to drive up to work every night, we had a whole hour and 15 minutes to talk. It's been warm lately, amazingly warm for a March.
And then we have, of course, the typical frost.
Yeah.
Twice we've had frost in the last 7 or 8 days. And the point spread's been, what, 40 points?
The point spread.
Yeah, temperature spread. So 70s down to the 40s or 30s, you know, it's insane.
Yeah. And my car, if it gets below freezing, then it trips something in the thermostat in the engine, and the check engine light comes off or on, and all of your safety features are disabled. Your can't use cruise control, doesn't have lane departure warning, doesn't have imminent collision warning.
The smart cruise control is what I miss the most of all. Because today when I went out to get the groceries, I have a tendency to lead foot it since I don't go out that much anymore. And I set the cruise control. And I use the adaptive cruise control. It has a button point on it where you can set the distance between cars. And you can slow yourself down or speed up or do increments of 5 or 1. And I used that, I want to say 85% of that damn trip. It was fabulous.
Yeah, Bonnie sets the distance between you and the car in front of you at the maximum. I have it at the minimum.
Fuck that shit. You never know when somebody's going to slam on the brake.
Yeah, but the thing is, the car automatically brakes for you if there's an emergency.
Unless the whole thing goes out.
Yeah, which is stupid. But anyway, because and the check engine light's been on for weeks and weeks and weeks. So now that it's warmed up, it's off again, and all my things are restored.
Stupidest damn thing.
Yeah. What else is going on?
Did I tell you when I went to put gas in the car today that it was loose? The gas cap was loose.
Yeah, you told me that. I don't know
Be
why.
careful.
Because last time I put gas in, I did the click. You just turn it to the
Single
first click. Yeah. The last couple of days at work were pretty good because we got done early, so I was able to take a second or an extra break and get some more drawing done.
Oh, Oh my God, you forgot your art supplies one night this week.
Yeah, a couple nights ago, I got to work and realized I'd forgotten the pencil bag with all my pencils and pens and markers and stuff in it. So I found a pencil in the building, and I just did the basic underdrawing for several pages worth of work. The problem was the pencil was one of the mechanical pencils, and it's a darker line, and it was a sharper, harder line. So when I went back over it with the first thing I do is on a regular drawing I do very, very light pencil, and then I go over it with a Staedtler triplus liner pen. But when I did that this time over these drawings, it was horrible because the pencil line was so tiny and precise. It was hard to go over it with the pen properly.
You have a mail handler back, and you have a new boss at work, or rather an old boss back, right?
Yeah.
You want to talk about that any?
No.
You said the person came back to a different shift, and that helped out.
Oh, yeah. The woman who
Was out on military leave.
she was out on military leave, and she came back, but I haven't seen her, and found out that she went to the afternoon shift. And I said, what, did they give her a hardship thing? No, it was a bid. I didn't even know there was a bid for the afternoon shift. Not that I would have wanted it. That's the worst shift of all, is afternoon, because your sleep is totally different from everybody else on the planet, and you're missing your nighttime differential. And I was stunned to find out that our son gets nighttime differential on his job.
Only a couple of hours each day.
Is it after 6 p.m.?
I don't know what it is, but he gets an extra $1 an hour for that. He also
Wow.
gets an extra $1 an hour for working weekends.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I know. He made his largest check ever, and it didn't have all the deductions on it yet because his medical hasn't come into effect. But to give you an idea, it was 2/3 what you brought home.
Wow.
Now, mind you, your medical and retirement are already taken out of yours, and we've got half the check is gone. I mean, we're paying $400 a month for medical
I don't want to
for
know.
just the health insurance. That doesn't include the dental.
I don't want to
It
know.
doesn't
Oh,
include
that brings
the
up a
life
good thing.
insurance. It doesn't include the disability insurance. It doesn't include all this other stuff.
I hate to say this, but we need to find another dentist, because I don't want to
Oh,
go
we
years
have
without.
found him. We have found him. Just haven't set up an appointment because we've just been in arrears, you know.
I'm sort of disappointed.
We've been carrying Peter for I don't know how long now.
I'm sort of disappointed we're leaving this other dentist, because I really liked him and I really liked the office.
No, I didn't like the office. Well, I liked the office itself. I didn't like the office staff because they didn't file our fucking insurance.
That was the reason that we stopped going to this guy, because they would never
We were there for 2 or 3
competent
years,
about filing the
and
insurance
they never
on the
filed
dental.
it, not once.
I liked this guy's office because, number one, it was an old house that they turned into a dentist's office. It was very nice looking on the inside, very comfortable, high ceilings. And also, they used this sonic scaler thing to clean your teeth.
Well, the other guy will
And-
do that too. He's into modern conveniences, dear.
Who is this new guy we're going to?
My dad's dentist.
Now, where's that at?
Off Hawthorne.
Oh, I thought you were going to send us
He's
to
the
some
one that's the big Tom Petty fan. He goes to concerts and stuff.
Hawthorne. Where on Hawthorne is it?
Across from Bell's. You
Huh.
know where the Y is?
Yeah.
That's too far.
Many years ago, in that year before Bonnie and I got married, I was living alone and I was first getting sober. And so when you're in a period like that, you try new things and you do new things and you're open to new experiences. Well, I got into playing bridge.
Oh, yeah.
And I studied up on it, and then the only place I could find to play bridge was this.
The Y.
The Y had a bunch of old people who play bridge every Saturday or whatever. So I went over there, and the one time I've ever played bridge, I went over there and played with these people. And the woman who was the leader, she was sort of irritated at me because I wasn't that knowledgeable. Yeah.
She wanted to win, by God.
Yeah, she wanted
Don't
to
take
win.
away Barbara's trophy.
Well, see, every single game they played, they accrued points, and they had like a record book, and you keep your points on it. And she was like number one, and she was a little pissed off that she didn't get her full array of points for that session. But I played with. Do you remember Steve Hedden from?
Oh.
His mother. I don't know if his father was there too, but his mother was there, and she introduced herself, and she either knew immediately who I was, or
Did they look freakish like Steve?
yes, his mother looks just like him.
Oh my God!
And she stunned me by telling me that he went into the Army. And I just can't imagine him cutting it in the Army, number one, because
I
of
had
boot
a couple
camp.
classes with him, and he was weird.
And number two, he was very, very smart. Yeah, but he was very, very smart. He was very competent mathematically. And I just can't imagine, why would he have to go into the Army?
Well,
Of all, I mean,
because they're forced to accept him if he qualifies.
yeah, but I mean, did he do it because he had to have GI money to pay for the college, or?
Maybe, I don't know. It was probably a social thing with him.
I don't know. I mean, Jesus.
With outsiders like that, they either become these strange lone wolves that live up in the mountains, or they join the military and find some kind of strange niche, okay?
Yeah. I mean, because there's
I'm not saying all people in the military are like they're not, but the military takes a lot of people. Other folks would just go, he wouldn't work well with the customers. And that was one of those guys.
maybe I strongly suspect it was a money thing, because in the military you get health benefits, and they can help you pay for school. I don't know.
Housing,
A
etc.
lot of the people who went to the private Christian school that Bonnie and I went to, they were working, lower middle class working folks who didn't have much money.
But enough money they want to keep their kids segregated.
Yeah, they would make just enough money to blow that extra bit of discretionary income on a private Christian school that will indoctrinate your children to be Republican nuts the rest of their whole lives.
And keep their white kids away from black kids.
That was a lot of the impetus, especially in the early years of that school, was that they only had
was one of those schools.
When I was going to school there, they only had one black kid in the whole school.
Her name is Fern.
Yeah. I think they've got some more black kids that were going there now.
Oh, they tried an experiment when we were there, remember? They brought this kid in from Winder. He was a black football player.
Yeah, and
Something went wrong.
He cooked up a scheme. He found out how they kept the money or something, and he told his brothers or something all about it. So they went up there and tried to rob the school. And this is right across the street from the State Patrol's office.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord. No, it wasn't right across the street. It was sort of catty corner. Right across the street was a convenience store that I later wound up working at. And when the wife of the guy who owned the school found out I was working there, she announced to everybody at the they had a daily assembly called chapel where you'd get a sermon every day. But she announced to everybody at chapel, right across the street, there's a very smart boy who used to go to this school.
Why
but
does she sound like Trump?
I don't know, but she had this thing, she would say worship, and she said boy, but she she told them a fine example of wasted potential is right across the street. He went to this very school, and he could have become, a PhD. He could have become a great financial genius for the Lord, but he wouldn't apply himself, and he got led astray by rock and roll, and now he's reduced to working at a convenience store. So anyway, after she told them all this,
to heard this then. Your sister told you
no,
about this?
she would have been out of school at this point. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, because I'd been out of school 7 or 8 years.
How did you find out?
Because I think Mitch's sister told him, and then he told me, but it somehow got back to me. But anyway, some of the kids came across the street over the course of the next couple of days, specifically to find me and look at me and gawk and amuse themselves by seeing this fine example of wasted potential.
Can't we go dance on her grave or something?
I don't know. Take a shit on it, maybe. But
hey, as long as it's free, that's fine.
I'm not making any money, and I'm not rich, no. But I am doing exactly what I have always wanted to do. I'm painting, writing, drawing, playing the guitar, writing songs. I have a wife who loves me. I have 2 children who are just the greatest human beings on the planet. So she can
go fuck herself.
Yeah, she can, dance and be happy in heaven now for whatever she thinks. But to hell with those people. Oh my God. I need another cup of tea. So,
I don't understand why she would be so dismissive of working in a convenience store.
Well, years ago.
But that's the thing. See, that school did not prep you for college.
No.
That school did not prep you for life among others.
No, it didn't.
It didn't prepare you to be in the larger world outside of the Bible Belt South in a very cloistered community.
Mm-hmm.
My sister went there and sent her son there, and they led a life centered around their church. And everything was around their religion. And they didn't have tolerance for other people who weren't like them, including her own sister, and her own father and stepmother. And she could, play nice, but the fact of the matter was she wasn't nice. And she didn't know how to cope with people that were not like them. Mm-hmm. Because they were the type of people that said, oh, you should be a Christian. No, not everybody should be a Christian. No one should be a fucking Christian, in my opinion.
Well, they had like I said, they had chapel every day, and they had, the school at that time was divided down the middle. You had the kindergarten through 6th grade on one side, and you had 7th through 12th on the other side. And the 7th through 12th side, they had their own chapel in a separate part of the building, and the kindergarten through 6th had their chapel basically in the gym, in the basketball gym. Anyway, when I was in probably 6th grade, we were at chapel one day, and this woman, she was giving the sermon for that day, and she gave basically the same sort of thing. You need to study hard and apply yourself so that you'll succeed in life. She goes, I went to school with this girl, and she had every opportunity in the world, but you know what she's doing now? This is the way she said it, she is a dog groomer. Like, oh my God, she's grooming dogs for a living. She might as well be shoveling shit in Cambodia.
There's probably a good chance that woman has her own business doing that.
Yeah, and making a good living.
Fucking schedule.
Yeah.
And can get off to be around her kids.
Because the people who can afford to get their dogs groomed are people who have money and who have expensive dogs, so they can afford big prices to have their dog groomed, nails clipped, so forth.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord. She is a dog groomer.
When you and I went there, they had no AP classes at all. None.
No.
There was nothing in the way of college prep. I got back a letter from a college saying, "We're sorry, the high school that you attended is not fully accredited."
Yeah.
Whoa. Now, to this day, they only have state accreditation. They are not accredited through SACS.
They did not want you to go to any type of university or college if it wasn't a Christian college.
You want to name the school?
The name of the school is Athens Christian School, founded in 1970 by...
In Athens, Georgia.
Yeah, in Athens, Georgia, founded by the Cummings family. And it was they saw a financial opportunity and they jumped on it because at that time, racially integrated schools were really getting underway, and so there was a big backlash from people who didn't want to be forced to send their kids to the same school as with black kids, and so a lot of private schools in the area in the whole South got started at that same time because of that.
George Walton Academy, Athens Academy here.
So anyway, yeah, I forget what I was going to say, but it was. Oh, I know. So when I was in senior year, okay, the same woman, she said, "Well, I'm gonna have a special meeting with any seniors who want to talk about college and about if you may have some trouble paying for college, what your options are to pay for college and so forth." Well, when they went to the meeting, I didn't go, but my friend Mitch went. When they got to the meeting, all she talked about was, if you go to Bob Jones, they have this thing and this thing, work study. You can do this, this. If you go to Pensacola, they have blah, 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 this. So at the end, that's all she talked about. So at the end of the meeting, it's breaking up and they're leaving. And my friend went up to her and he said, "Well, I'm going to go to the University of Georgia. What information do you have for me about that?" And she paused and she kind of had a little smirk on her face and she patted him on the shoulder and she said, "Better pray about it." These people were all Bob Jones graduates. Bob Jones was founded in the 1940s, I think, as a direct response to the increasing acceptance of evolution and secularism.
Catholicism also a response to Catholicism.
in education, in universities and so forth. And
It's virulently anti-Catholic.
yeah. But the main thing is they felt that in the universities, the young people were being taught things that might undermine their Christian faith, like the increasing awareness of the ahistorical nature of the Bible and Christianity itself, and that evolution is true, and on and on and on and on, and that maybe 100% capitalism might not be the most beneficial system for all of humanity. Oh, Lord.
And Peter was in college, in high school. He had to take filler classes because he'd taken all the AP classes early and stuff. And his last year, he was stretched. They had to create an honors Spanish for him, where he literally was doing self-guided learning. And one of the classes he took for a quarter was economics. It wasn't even economics. It was personal finance or something. And one of the first things they said was, ask the students, "What type of system do we have? Tell us what kind of system." Around the classroom, they wouldn't let everybody answer, and everybody went, "We're in a capitalist society. We're in a capitalist society." And they got to Peter and he goes, "We're in a mixed economy." And she goes, "That is correct."
Yeah. Trump and his buddies have ordered the EPA to stop protecting the environment.
Yeah.
And the guy who's the acting director at the moment said, "We're doing this because we want to promote the EPA's core mission, which is selling more cars." And as Stephen Colbert pointed out, no, that's not your core mission. Your core mission is in the name of the fucking agency, the Environmental Protection Agency. It was founded as a response to the increasing awareness that we were poisoning the planet and we were poisoning people by dumping toxic shit in the air and in the water, and they want to do away with all that.
We had rivers that caught fire. We had rivers that were so covered with sludge and slime that people didn't dare go to their own rivers in their own cities. And now, 50 years later, those cities have parks alongside the rivers where people go with their children and play and even fish. And they wanted to go back to 1970s, 1960s filth.
More than that, they want to go back to the dark satanic mills of the British Industrial Revolution.
Yeah.
Was that William Blake?
Mills?
It was Mills that said
I
that?
think it
Yeah.
was Mills.
Oh, Lord. That was his phrase, dark satanic mills. Because when they started building factories for the mass production of goods,
The black in the sky.
that's when they started destroying the environment, in mass, en masse.
En masse.
Yeah. So,
Funny thing is, Britain right now has been, for the last couple of years, undoing some of their regulations. And one of the biggest controversies is they have sold water to private corporations.
not only that, but they're
And-
owned by foreign companies. A lot of
Yes.
Chinese companies own.
And so people are having to pay exorbitant rates, and also they're not cleaning the water.
They're dumping the sewage
dumping
directly into the
sewage
river.
directly into the ocean surrounding the fucking island. So it's washing back up onto the shores. It's killing beds of oysters and mussels and other things, and it's just a plague upon the ocean. And for the sake of the almighty dollar.
Well, this whole flap with Canada,
Yeah.
what Trump said, because Ontario's threatened to cut off electricity to Michigan and so forth, and Trump was basically like, let them do it. We don't need their electricity. We don't need their lumber. We have everything we need. We don't need anybody. It reminded me of the Brexit marketing talk,
Bullshit.
which was, we don't need Europe. They need us more than we need them. And
Going down the same path.
here is the thing, folks. We all need each other. The entire planet is interlinked. All humanity is interlinked. All environments are interlinked. All our economics are interlinked. Everybody needs everybody else.
Yep.
Did you know gravity doesn't just affect, we're not just being pulled by the sun. We're not just pulling on the moon. The moon is also pulling on us. We're also pulling on the sun. Gravity works over long distances. We are actually pulling on Alpha Centauri. Thousands and thousands
But our solar system.
No, everything pulls on everything else. And the thing is that sort of thinking applies all the way down to the fact that you're breathing in microbes at this very moment, and they affect you very subtly.
Laws of gravity change a little bit once you leave the planet. Just so you know, the physics isn't quite consistent.
Okay.
But
I think I know a little bit about science, Bonnie, and I know that the vaccine causes autism.
Jesus Christ, they had to withdraw the CDC nominee because he turned off so many people with his anti-vax bullshit this week. Oh, years ago, I was reading an article by Lloyd Kahn, one of the co-authors of Whole Earth Household, and he said, "What?
Whole Earth Catalog.
Catalog, sorry. Anyway, he said...
Is he still alive?
Yeah, he is, as a matter of fact. I checked in with him just a couple months ago. Anyway, yeah, this guy's like, what, 80, 90 years old, and he's given up skateboarding, though, since last time. But, anyway, he wrote this thing about how he would love to be a man on his own. He, subscribes to all these hippie ideals, etc. He's lived with them for a while. He knows what works, what doesn't work. He no longer promotes geodesic domes, for example. He said, it would be nice for me to think that I could live alone, be the man on the island, do my own little eco-consciousness existence. But the fact of the matter is I can't make my own shoes. He had that as an example. He said, when you start looking at the small things in your life, you need other people to help out with these things and their skills. And the whole tariff war right now, we're discovering just how many things go into the American-made automobiles. The ones that are made in factories here, they have parts from all over the world. A lot of stuff comes from Mexico. All these brake pads and such, Mexico. Tires, further afield. And Canada, all that fucking lumber. You and I are talking about building an easel for you, and the prices of wood are such that I'm actually looking at prices online for kits for pressed, that melamine and all that kind of wood, instead of going down to Lowe's, because board foot prices are insane at this point.
It makes. I thought about that. Those pieces of that armoire that I kept. We busted that armoire. I was thinking I should have kept those because that was old wood and I could have used it in some way. But I think I got rid of all that stuff.
Yeah.
See, the thing is, folks, for some reason, the idea
ask
of
my dad if he still has that half table I sent over to do a project with. No, he's already cut it down. Never mind.
well, anyway, I've been thinking about getting a real drafting table, the kind that tilts. I've never drawn on that type of table, and I think I'd like to try it. So,
It could be a very expensive mistake if you find
so
something like it.
I started looking at pictures of drafting tables online, and some of these old, like 100 years old ones, are just beautiful. Back when they crafted things properly, wrought iron, not wrought iron, but the iron, cast iron legs, framework, and then this beautiful old seasoned wood for the top. And then I got to think, well, it's so expensive. Maybe I could build one. Went out to Hobby Lobby today because they used to have a whole area where they had easels and drafting tables set up so you could look at them. That's all gone. They've only got them in the boxes. Because I figured the only really hard part of building this thing is making the tilting mechanism. And I thought, well, I'm not going to be tilting it back and forth that much. I'll just find one angle that works, and I'll probably keep it that way. So I wanted to go over there, and I brought up like a T-squared protractor thing, and I wanted to get the angle so I just know how to cut the wood so that it always be at that angle. And none of them are set up anymore. I could probably look online at what the usual angle is, what people usually set the damn thing at,
Ask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I figure I can make this thing for just, a couple of bucks out of 2x4s. The expensive part is getting a big enough piece of wood for the
That's
top,
the thing. You can't get just a plain piece of wood because of the grooves in it. You're going to need to attach something like a melamine board to it.
Well, I'm going to get Masonite. Because I've already got some on that folding table in there. I was just thinking about taking those.
Smooth,
yeah,
it doesn't get
exactly.
cut, dented.
Yeah, actually, I've got a drawing here I made at work. That's my plan for it, but it doesn't include the tilting mechanism.
Okay.
I think that's pretty good. I'll have to go over this schematic with you later to explain it to the female mind. Oh, I'm going to get slapped now.
Oh, I think that deserves a punch in the gut.
A punch to the gut? Ugh.
She pokes him with 3 fingers.
I'm going to have to get a cup of tea in a second.
You're lucky I don't give you a proper.
Oh, you're going to be giving me my testosterone shot in a little bit, so you can really jab me then.
It goes into the tip of the penis. It does not.
We have to put the needle directly into one of your testicles.
Ah, that hurts me to think about. Jesus.
Yeah, but then, now that I've been thinking about it, I might be just better off cleaning up the studio, straightening things out, getting it more organized. Because in order to put this thing in there, I'm going to take something else out. And that means reorganizing and redoing everything. So I really don't know what the hell I'm going to do.
You've got the boards attached to the table. Maybe just attach a lip onto the edge of the table. And that way you can push one of those boards against it, then lift it from behind and see if you like the elevated drawing. See what I mean, Butterbean?
Well, the thing is, everybody I see online, a professional cartoonist, professional artist, they draw on a tilted drafting table. And I'm thinking, well, must be some advantage to it, some benefits. So, and plus that clip-on light, I never really use it for that purpose. And if I had the drafting table, I could clip it to the top, and I could use use that magnifying light properly.
I still am of the mind that you should try drawing seated with a tilted surface for a while and see how it works for you.
Yeah.
Before you invest too much time and energy into this and break your pretty little brain, sweet girl. Oh. Sorry for your
You may not find the things that I've built aesthetically pleasing, but they are functional and practical. I've built a lot of stuff. I built that easel out of scraps in there, and it works fine.
Yes, dear.
Bonnie, that's an objective truth. I've built a lot of stuff for nothing that works.
Yes, dear.
My old studio, all that stuff over there basically was built slowly over the years. Oh, I do miss that big area where I used to paint over there. I had shelving track mounted on the wall over there, and I would just move I had a great big, like 2x8, just move it up and down as I needed it. Lights directly overhead. That was a nice space over there. It just got too moldy and mouse ridden and cockroach ridden, and
The whole hantavirus really put me off.
plus over there I was isolated. I could make as much racket as I wanted. I'd play music loud, play my guitar loud.
There were some nights that I would be over here in my bed with my fan on and my door closed, and I would wake up and there would be this boom, 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 boom coming from next door. Several nights I had to go over there and go bang, bang, bang. The neighbors are going to call the cops at this point. This neighbor is not happy.
One of the other problems was it didn't have running water. So I had a garden hose running through the wall
God.
into an industrial sink, and there was no bathroom. I could pee in the jug, but I couldn't go to the
Piss
poo-poo.
bottle man. Mike what?
Mike Watt, Piss Bottle Man.
Who was he with? Regulators? What?
No, he was with the Minutemen.
Minutemen.
And then he was labored with fire hose.
Jesus. Oh.
That's a good record. It's one of my favorite Henry Rollins performances. Sexual Military Dynamics. It's this wonderful, angular jazz guitar riff. The chords just slammed against each other like that. I just love it. And Big Train's on that record.
Yep.
Bunch of good stuff on that record.
Sing me the lyrics to Big Train, baby.
Big train, big train. Don't you want to ride my big train? I can't think of what else it says.
That was it. It just makes me laugh.
Oh, dear me. I have got to get some serious painting done this weekend. Face feels weird without the beard,
Yeah.
but it will make hygiene, daily hygiene easier. Just wash my face and be done
You
with
should have been
it.
doing that before.
No, I mean, you can brush your teeth easier. You don't have to get
Oh, I
stuff all in your,
You're not
toothpaste foam, and
inhaling hairs up your nose.
that's true. Also,
Oh
sometimes
my God.
I'd let down to sleep, and beard hairs would go up my nose. You have to.
Have you tried the beard trimmer attachment for the nose and ear hair yet?
No, I haven't.
I'm not going to try it on you. I'm going to leave that to you,
I think
babe.
that would hurt if it gets snagged.
Yeah.
If that is one thing I would have. If I was rich, I'd have somebody do like a full grooming. Clean your nails properly, get a proper haircut, trim your eyebrows, trim your
Ooh, I need
everything.
your eyebrows, Walter Cronkite.
Yeah. Oh, get your toenails seen to. My toenails are
Your
just
toenails are horrid.
torn down into the skin. I don't have proper toenails on my little toes because many years ago I just tore them out at the root and they grew back weird. I was thinking about something the other day, last night at work.
If I give you a pedicure, would you give me a pedicure?
What does a pedicure involve?
Well, honestly, I just want my feet rubbed.
Oh, yeah, I rub your feet sometimes.
Every blue moon.
Reed, our daughter must have been about 13, somewhere in there. And we saw a baby at the grocery store or something. And she said it looked like it came out wrong. Like it was deformed. But the way she said it, it looked like it came out wrong.
Do you remember my nephew had this weird shaped head
Yeah.
when he was born? It was like some kind of strange Egbert kind of
I was going to say it looked like an alien.
He was really bizarre. His eyes were really wide open and he was hyper alert. He was freakish. Even today he's freakish.
Yeah.
And I can say that because I'm estranged from his family because they murdered my sister.
Yeah. Well, I think we're about done here. Let's see how much time we've been talking for 52 minutes.
Jesus fuck, I didn't think we'd have anything to talk about tonight.
And it wasn't our usual political harangue. It was
Nobody wants to talk about that shit.
No, we're sick of it. We're sick of it.
We're sick of it.
Yeah, we're sick of it. So, is there anything else we need to bring up?
In our thoughts and prayers this week, pray for Chuck Schumer to die, Nancy Pelosi to die.
Let's not get into all that because we can spend another 20 minutes. All right, so I guess that's about it. We'll talk to you next week and give you a full update on events as they unfold.
Gross.
All right, bye.
Bye.